What if I told you that some of Hollywood's most legendary action stars, the tough guys who made us believe in explosive fight scenes and heart-pounding chases, had quietly slipped away without us even noticing? Behind the epic stunts, the fame, and the larger-than-life personas, these icons were hiding stories that the world never got to hear. They gave their all to the silver screen, but when the spotlight dimmed, so did their lives. Here are 20 action stars whose passing flew under the radar, leaving fans in the dark about the true cost of their unforgettable careers. Number 20. Sean Connery. The original James Bond, Connery's legacy extends beyond Highlander and The Rock. He passed away in October 2020 at age 90, leaving behind a cinematic empire. Connery was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, and worked various jobs before becoming an actor. His breakthrough came with Dr. No in 1962, the first Bond film. He won an Academy Award for his role in The Untouchables. Connery retired from acting after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in 2003. He spent his final years in the Bahamas, where he died peacefully in his sleep. His family held a private funeral due to COVID-19 restrictions. Fans worldwide mourned the loss of the Scottish icon who defined masculine cool for generations. Number 19. Michael Lonsdale. Famous for his chilling role as Hugo Drax in Moonraker, Lonsdale's passing in September 2020 at age 89 marked the end of an era. Born to an English father and a French mother, Lonsdale worked in both French and English cinema. He appeared in over 180 films and stage productions during his six-decade career. Besides being a Bond villain, he earned critical acclaim for his role in Of Gods and Men. Lonsdale was also a devoted Catholic who wrote several books on spirituality. He never married and lived a relatively private life in Paris. His final film role was in 2016's The First, the Last. Directors praised his distinctive voice and intense screen presence that could convey both menace and tenderness. Number 18. Chadwick Boseman. The Black Panther star's untimely death from colon cancer in August 2020 at age 43 sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Boseman kept his diagnosis private while filming several major movies, including his iconic role as T'Challa. He underwent surgeries and chemotherapy between filming schedules. Born in South Carolina, Boseman studied directing at Howard University. Before Black Panther, he became known for playing historical figures like Jackie Robinson, James Brown, and Thurgood Marshall. He was deeply involved in charitable work, especially with children's hospitals. Boseman's last film, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, was released posthumously. His death sparked global mourning and conversations about colorectal cancer awareness, particularly among younger adults and African Americans. Number 17. Kelly Preston. Known for her roles in Battlefield Earth and Death Sentence, Preston's battle with breast cancer ended in July 2020 at age 57. She kept her 2-year cancer struggle private from the public. Born in Hawaii, Preston began modeling as a teenager before transitioning to acting. She met John Travolta while filming The Experts in 1987, and they married in 1991. Preston appeared in hit films like Jerry Maguire and For Love of the Game. She and Travolta experienced tremendous tragedy when their son Jet died in 2009 at age 16. Preston's final film role was in Gotti, where she starred alongside her husband. Friends described her as incredibly positive and family-oriented until the end. Number 16. Sir Ian Holm. Renowned for Bilbo Baggins and roles in Alien and The Fifth Element, Holmes' fight against Parkinson's ended in June 2020 at age 88. He began his career with the Royal Shakespeare Company, winning a Tony Award. Holmes suffered from severe stage fright in 1976, forcing him to focus on film work. His role as Sam Musabini in Chariots of Fire earned him an Oscar nomination. Holm was knighted in 1998 for his services to drama. He married 4 times and had 5 children. Many fans don't realize he played the android Ash in the original Alien. Peter Jackson convinced him to come out of retirement for the Hobbit films. Colleagues remembered him as a brilliant character actor with incredible range. Number 15. Irfan Khan, star of Jurassic World and The Amazing Spider-Man. Khan's sudden passing from a colon infection in April 2020 at age 53 stunned fans worldwide. He had been battling a neuroendocrine tumor since 2018. Born in Rajasthan, India, Khan studied at the National School of Drama. He struggled in television roles before gaining recognition in independent films. His international breakthrough came with The Warrior in 2001. Khan became one of the few Indian actors to find success in both Bollywood and Hollywood. His performances in Life of Pi and The Lunchbox earned global acclaim. Khan was known for his expressive eyes and subtle acting style. He left behind his wife and 2 sons. Many directors considered him one of the finest actors of his generation. Number 14. Brian Dennehy. Known for roles in First Blood and FX, Dennehy's legacy ended with his passing from cardiac arrest in April 2020 at age 81. Standing at 6'3", Dennehy worked as a truck driver, bartender, and salesman before becoming an actor in his mid-30s. He appeared in over 180 films and television shows during his career. Dennehy won 2 Tony Awards for his performances in Death of a Salesman and Long Day's Journey into Night. Many recognize him as the sheriff who harasses Rambo in First Blood. He was also beloved for lighter roles like the father in the comedy Tommy Boy. Dennehy served in the Marines and played semi-professional football. Friends described him as a brilliant storyteller off-screen with a remarkable memory for literature. Number 13. Honor Blackman. The iconic Pussy Galore from Goldfinger, Blackman's natural passing in April 2020 at age 94 marked a loss for cinema history. She began acting in the 1940s after studying at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. Before Bond, Blackman gained fame as Kathy Gale in the Avengers TV series. She turned down a CBE award because of her political beliefs as a libertarian. Blackman learned judo for her role in the Avengers and performed her stunts. At 39, she was one of the oldest Bond girls in the franchise's history. After acting, she toured with her show Honor Blackman as herself. She published a book called Honor Blackman's Book of Self-Defense. Colleagues remembered her independence, intelligence, and commitment to her craft. Number 12. Lee Fierro. Mrs. Kintner in Jaws, Fierro's fight against COVID-19 ended in April 2020 at age 91. Though she appeared in only a few films, her slap of Chief Brody became one of cinema's most memorable moments. Fierro spent most of her career teaching theater at Martha's Vineyard. She served as the artistic director of the Island Theater Workshop for over 25 years. Fierro mentored hundreds of aspiring actors and directors during her lifetime. She initially turned down the role in Jaws, but was convinced by friends. Fierro reprised her role 22 years later in Jaws: The Revenge. She had 5 children, 7 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. Local residents remembered her as a passionate advocate for community theater who improved countless lives through her teaching. Number 10. Max von Sydow. Star of The Exorcist and Minority Report, von Sydow's passing in March 2020 at age 90 was a loss for the cinematic world. Born in Sweden, he collaborated with director Ingmar Bergman on 11 films. Von Sydow learned to speak 8 languages throughout his career. He received 2 Academy Award nominations, most recently for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. His chess game with Death in the Seventh Seal became one of cinema's most iconic scenes. Despite often playing somber characters, colleagues described him as having a wonderful sense of humor. Von Sydow appeared in over 100 films across 11 decades. He became a French citizen in 2002 and lived in Paris with his second wife. Directors sought him out for his ability to convey profound emotion with minimal dialogue. Number 9. Lynn Cohen. Known for her role as Mags in The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, Cohen passed away in February 2020 at age 86. She began her acting career later in life, with her first film role in her 50s. Cohen was best known to television audiences as Magda, Miranda's housekeeper in Sex and the City. She had extensive theater experience, performing in numerous Broadway and off-Broadway productions. Cohen studied at the Michael Howard Studios in New York City. She appeared in acclaimed films such as Munich and Eagle Eye. Despite her small stature, she brought tremendous energy to her action roles. Cohen was married to her husband Ronald for over 50 years. Colleagues remembered her warmth and willingness to mentor younger actors on set. Number 8. Kirk Douglas. A Hollywood legend, Douglas's passing in February 2020 at age 103 marked the end of an era. Born Isher Danielovich to Jewish immigrants, he worked dozens of jobs to pay for acting school. Douglas survived a helicopter crash in 1991 that killed 2 other passengers. He starred in over 90 films and was known for his distinctive dimpled chin. Douglas helped end the Hollywood blacklist by hiring blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo for Spartacus. He and his wife Anne donated over $100 million to various charities. Douglas was one of the last surviving stars from Hollywood's golden age. His son Michael followed in his footsteps and became an acting legend himself. Friends described him as incredibly tenacious, which helped him partially recover from a severe stroke in 1996. Number 7. Jack Kehoe. Featured in The Untouchables and Dick Tracy, Kehoe's sudden stroke led to his passing in January 2020 at age 85. He served in the Army before pursuing acting at the Actors Studio. Kehoe was known for playing tough guys and gangsters throughout his career. He appeared in Oscar-winning films like Serpico and Reds. Kehoe had a memorable role as a pool hustler in The Color of Money. After suffering a stroke in 2015, he withdrew from public life. Though rarely in leading roles, directors sought him for his authentic character work. Kehoe was particularly skilled at playing historical characters from the Prohibition era. Friends remembered him as much quieter than his on-screen personas, preferring books to nightlife. His nuanced performances elevated every film he appeared in. Number 6. Robert Conrad. Star of Sudden Death and The Wild Wild West. Conrad's heart failure in February 2020 at age 84 shocked fans. Born Conrad Robert Falk, he worked as a milk truck driver before entering show business. Conrad performed most of his stunts despite network objections. He was known for his physical fitness and boxing skills. Conrad hosted a national radio show well into his 70s. He had 8 children from 2 marriages. Many fans remember him from the battery commercial where he said, "Dare you to knock this off." Conrad received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1984. Friends described him as extremely competitive and passionate about every project. His Wild Wild West series pioneered the steampunk aesthetic decades before the term existed. Number 5. Tom Sizemore. Known for roles in Saving Private Ryan and Point Break, Sizemore's brain aneurysm in March 2023 at age 61 stunned the industry. He studied theater at Wayne State University and Temple University. Sizemore worked with directors like Steven Spielberg, Oliver Stone, and Michael Mann. His struggles with substance abuse were documented in a reality show. Despite personal troubles, critics consistently praised his intense performances. Sizemore published a memoir titled "By Some Miracle I Made It Out of There." He appeared in over 200 films and television shows during his career. Directors valued his ability to project both vulnerability and danger on screen. Sizemore's twin sons were born in 2005. Friends remembered his generous spirit when sober and his determination to overcome his demons despite repeated setbacks. Number 4. Alan Arkin. Star of Catch-22 and Edward Scissorhands. Arkin's passing in June 2023 at age 89 marked a significant loss. He began his career as a folk singer with the Terriers. Arkin won an Oscar for Little Miss Sunshine after 5 decades in the industry. He was accomplished as an actor, director, musician, and author. Arkin published several children's books and memoirs about acting. He practiced transcendental meditation for over 40 years. Arkin's sons, Adam, Matthew, and Anthony, all entered the entertainment industry. He delivered powerful performances well into his 80s, including in the series The Kominsky Method. Colleagues described him as incredibly present and thoughtful on set. Arkin could seamlessly transition between comedy and drama, often in the same scene. His improvisational background gave his performances a natural, unpredictable quality. Number 3. George P. Wilbur played Michael Myers in several Halloween films. Wilbur's recent passing leaves behind a legacy of horror. He worked as a stuntman for over 40 years before gaining fame behind the iconic mask. Wilbur performed stunts in films like The Towering Inferno and Marathon Man. He played Michael Myers in Halloween 4 and Halloween 6. Standing at 6'3", Wilbur brought an imposing physical presence to the character. He trained numerous stunt performers throughout his career. Wilbur rarely gave interviews, preferring to let his work speak for itself. Despite playing one of cinema's most famous killers, friends described him as gentle and soft-spoken. He was respected for his technical knowledge of safe stunt execution. Wilbur worked well into his 70s with unusual longevity in the physically demanding stunt profession. Horror fans worldwide mourn the loss of the man behind the mask. Number 2. Matthew Perry. Though not primarily an action star, Perry's influence across genres, including thrillers like The Whole Nine Yards, was profound. His surprising death in 2023 at age 54 came from acute effects of ketamine. Perry battled addiction for decades while filming Friends. He established a sober living facility to help others fighting similar battles. His memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, became a bestseller. Perry earned an Emmy nomination for his portrayal of lawyer Joe Quincy on The West Wing. He was an accomplished tennis player in his youth. Ranked nationally in Canada, Perry never married or had children. His Friends character Chandler Bing influenced a generation of comedic actors. Colleagues remembered his timing as impeccable and his kindness on set. His death sparked renewed conversations about addiction and mental health. Number 1. Ray Stevenson, known for roles like Volstagg in Thor and Frank Castle in Punisher, Warzone. Stevenson's unexpected passing left fans in shock. He died in May 2023 at age 58 while filming in Italy. Born in Northern Ireland, Stevenson didn't begin acting until his late 20s. He trained at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. Stevenson gained recognition playing Titus Pullo in the HBO series Rome. He portrayed villains in both the Marvel and DC film universes. Stevenson was a skilled horseman from his time working on historical films. He had 3 sons from 2 relationships. Directors praised his dedication to physical training for his action roles. Stevenson often performed his fight scenes when allowed. Friends described him as humble, despite his imposing 6'4" frame. His death came just before his appearance in Star Wars Ahsoka, which was dedicated to his memory. Their stories may have ended, but their impact on the world of action films lives on. These stars may be gone, but their legacies continue to shape the heroes we watch today. Want to know more about Hollywood's hidden truths? Hit that subscribe button and don't miss out on the stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Stay tuned, because there's always more to uncover.